Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from my side, and welcome to your SGF home. It is a privilege for me to be able to receive you and to be able to share today's conference. And first, don't forget to mute your micros, please, for respect for the audience and the speaker. The second is we are very happy and honored with the participation of Andrea Anderson from USA and each of the panelists to make up the panel. To start, I will leave this space in the hands of Coach Rambabu. You are the prime mover of the day.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone who gathered here for the session number 434. Today, I got opportunity to introduce Dr. Andrea Anderson from Oklahoma. I'd like to give only four sentences, rules, what she does and she loves to does. Number one, she is mentor in Maxwell team, speaker in Share Every Global Foundation, and a wonderful God servant, and also great human being. Having these kind of people on this foundation, it's really blessed and honored. She has been traveling with Share Every Global Foundation over 2 years, but she missed only one advanced meeting. That is her commitment. That is her dedication. Sometimes, and she may give message, Coach, I'm not able to join today or I won't be available. But once we on the meeting, she will be the first than me. And she is a founder and CEO of Choi Strategic Coaching Academy in the US and also professor at Tesla Community College. She is advisory board member among 10 on Share Every Global Foundation, member of Self-Talk Institute. And she loves to share her experiences, her expertise, what she believes, what she trusts, and what she experiences. Everything she pours in front of us. This is a happy moment. We got chance to listen one more time. Before inviting Dr. Andrea, I would like to give her vision and calling. What she believes and loves so much. Her vision and calling is serve God with passion and fellow human beings with compassion. What a great attitude and vision to serve society. Without further ado, please join your hands to welcome today's guest of honor, Dr. Andrea from Oklahoma, USA. Give your big round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Thank you so much. And everybody else, good morning. My opportunity, thank you, Coach Rambabu. You always make me sound better, look better, and feel better than I usually do. So I appreciate you so much. What did we talk about this morning? I thought about what can we talk about? And I'll be teaching on this topic at Tulsa Technology Center in August. I don't know whether you can see, it's called Leadershift. And the 11 essential changes every leader must embrace. And they even have a workbook. So my students will be doing a workbook and we'll be doing the book. What is leadership? And since there are 11 points to it, I'm going to focus on what? The personal development. Why? Because personal development helps us to be what? Resilient, confident, and positive. We can't leadership others if we don't leadership ourselves. So we have to leadership. Josh will confirm this. In America, we have a saying called shift happens. So we're going to talk about shift, how you can shift. Now, first of all, what is leadership? I'm going to talk, kind of bring it down to a notch, speak slowly, so I know people are taking notes. Listen to this. Leadership is the ability and willingness to make leadership change that will positively enhance personal growth. Also, organization. But we're going to talk more about personal growth this morning. Good leaders adapt. They shift. They don't remain static because they know the world around them does not remain static. A good example, think about this. Remember, was it actually started 2019, COVID 2019. What happened in 2019? What happened in 2020? What do we have to do? We couldn't meet in classrooms anymore. I couldn't go to my classroom and teach. We had to go, most everything went to Zoom. We had to learn how to either adapt or let this COVID just overtake us. We did not do that. We learned to adapt. And we had to do that with COVID. We hopefully won't have to go do this another time, but we had to. Leaders must adapt. We cannot remain static. Maxwell talks about the 7 things that every leader must do to what? Leadership successfully. Listen to this. This is really good. This is my favorite one. We have to continually learn, unlearn, and relearn. We had to do that during the pandemic. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. We have to be willing to let go of what worked yesterday and learn new ways of seeing, doing, and leading. Do you remember a few weeks ago? Coach Rambo, give me his name. I see his, Gotham. Coach Gotham, when he was talking about artificial intelligence. We're going to have to learn about that because that seems to be really taking over in the 21st century. So again, we're going to have to learn that. We're continually learn with technology doing what it's doing. We must learn, unlearn, and relearn. One of our famous baseball players in America was Babe Ruth. Listen to what he said. Yesterday's home run does not win today's game. So what you did yesterday, that's wonderful. You've got to progress. You've got to move. It's not going to win today's game. You won the home run yesterday. Keep on going. Keep on stepping. You value yesterday, but we must live in today. Today. I like this one also. Rely on speed. Can't just sit again, not just sitting there, not doing anything. But we have to thrive on timing. Everything is a season. There's a season for everything. We have to recognize the right time to make a move. We certainly have them in America. They have monuments. They have statues all over the country. Do the statues, monuments, do they move? No, they're nice. They recognize, they respect the people. There is a beautiful statue of Princess Diana in England. They're thinking about doing a statue, a monument of a young teenager who was murdered in the 50s. And by the name of Emmett Till, they're going to do a statue of him because he was viciously murdered. And he was only 13 to 14 years old. So we've got statues all over America. I know you have statues, monuments in India, but you still have to move. Because what does a monument do? Does a monument move? No. Does a statue move? No. Birds perch on statues. They perch on monuments. But when we're moving, the birds can't perch on us. They can't make their nest on us because we're moving. So yes, it's great to have a monument, but we must keep on moving. Another thing he talks about, we've got to see the big picture. Why? Because the big picture keeps on growing. We cannot have myopic vision. We have to expand our vision. See. There's a famous story when they were dedicating a park in the name of Walt Disney. And then it was some great, beautiful park. And Mrs. Disney was sitting next to him. We all know who Walt Disney is or was. And they said, oh, Mrs. Disney, it's too bad that Walt didn't live long enough to see this come to pass. And she looks at him and she goes, oh, but he did. Oh, but he did. Why? Because he had a vision. My friends, must have a vision, and we have to see the big picture, because the big picture must keep expanding. Whatever our dreams are, whatever our goals are, whatever our vision, let it keep on expanding. Now, common sense, we must be realistic. We must live in today and think about tomorrow. No, I'm just going to think about today. Forget about tomorrow. Oh, we have to think about tomorrow. Again, that's the expansion, moving. And then we have to move courageously, even when we're uncertain. Maxwell talks about that. Let's move. We've heard the saying, Josh has heard it. There are 4 frogs sitting in the fence. 3 of them decide to jump off. So how many frogs are left? Well, first of all, you're going to say, oh, there's just only 1 left. No, all 4 of them are still on the fence. They decided. They didn't do it. So we've got to move. We've got to move courageously, even if we're uncertain. We never stop learning. We always have to learn something new. When was the last time I learned something for the first time? Try something different. Ask yourself, when's the last time I did something for the first time? And then find something better. Ask yourself, when is the last time I found something better for the first time? And then, my friends, we've got to see something bigger. Ask yourself, when's the last time I saw something bigger for the first time? Again, that all goes into vision. Next. Again, this is for people who are leaders in corporations, but this is also for personal development. So again, I just took out the parts for personal development for today. Goals, GOALS, to growth, GROWTH. We have to grow outward. Okay, that's that expansion again to what? To grow inward. Grow outward to grow inward. Growth inside fuels growth on the outside. Repeat that. Growth inside fuels growth on the outside. Coach Rambabu said, I haven't missed any. I did miss the one because the reason I missed the one in March is because I was in John Maxwell. I was at the training, the IMC training, so I couldn't get on at that time. Growth without a timeline versus growth without a finish line. There should be never a finish line for growth. At the conference in March, John was saying, I'm pretty certain he's 76 years old. So he's close to 80. And he says, people say, John, when are you going to retire? When are you going to stop writing books? He said, I'll be writing books long after you're dead. That's what he told the people. Why? He says, because you're continually learning. We must continually learn. Well, I've learned everything I have to learn. There's nothing else to learn. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is. We must continue to learn. So growth with a timeline versus growth without a finish line. We cannot have a finish line with our growth. Why? Because we never stop learning. All right. And if you shoot for the goals, you're going to achieve your goals. Because everybody knows you can achieve goals. And if you don't know how to achieve your goals, contact one of the coaches on the platform. They'll share with you how to achieve your goals. But once you achieve them, are you really growing? You must grow. If you shoot for growth, you'll grow. But if you just shoot for your goals, yeah, you reach your goals, but you won't grow. So if you shoot for growth, you'll grow and you'll achieve your growth. You'll achieve your growth. Now, to start doing leadership, he talks about there's 7 things we have to do. Number 1, this is not easy. A lot of us don't like. Some people may like this. I don't. You've got to what? Embrace the change. Why? Because growth means change. Embrace the change. I freaked out at the college. They sent us a letter, and I had been there since 2009, and they sent all the professors of note letters. And they said, because of the virus, because the campuses are shut, if you want to continue to teach, you must learn how to teach online. For people like coaches like Yummy, who's an expert in technology, wouldn't have been a problem for her. But for me, I freak out with the computer. I'm not tech savvy at all. And we had to take a 40-hour course, and they were developing the course, so it's hit and miss. And I had to take a 40-hour course. And if I did not pass that course, I could no longer teach for the college. So I took the class. The second day, I just broke down in tears. It was so complicated. I mean, again, for some people, you might have been complicated. It might have been complicated for you, but for me, it was complicated. And I was taking the course you could take it in 40 hours, take 1 week, or you could take it in 2 weeks. So I said, okay, I'm going to take it in 40 hours. I took my vacation time and I studied. I took them, and on the second day, everything I was doing was wrong. I said, you know what? I give up. And I contacted the dean. I said, I'm just not understanding, not getting this. And I said, I'm just dropping out of class. And I knew then I could never teach at the college anymore. And I said, but before I do that, can I sign up to take the class in next week and take it for 2 weeks instead of taking 1 hour, taking for 1 week, take it in 2 weeks? And she said, sure, Andrea, you can do that. I took that class in 2 weeks instead of pushing myself and challenging myself to get it done in 1 week. I took it in 2 weeks and bam, got a letter. We just submitted your name to the dean. Your class will be such and such online. Now I love teaching online. I'd rather teach online than be in the classroom because it's so easy. So again, I didn't like the change. I didn't think I did well with the change, but don't give up. Don't give up. Embrace the change. And adopt a teachable spirit. I could have just said, well, Andrea, you're a failure. You're dumb. You'll never learn this. In a natural, seemed that that was true. But I had a teachable spirit. I said, I don't know how to do this. I don't understand. Would you help me? And they walked me through the whole process. Took 2 weeks for me to learn it, but bam, I teach online now. Look for growth possibilities in every situation. And Coach Rambo would tell you, he was trying to walk me through on how to put the background on the flyer on there. I said, I don't know how to do it. I said, but I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn. Why? Teachable spirit. We must make our growth our number one priority. Next, look for growth possibilities in every situation. Embrace the change. That's why I'm so glad that Josh is with us. Embrace the change. He's looking for growth. We're all looking for growth. And being part of Share Every Global Foundation gives us an opportunity to grow. Alrighty then. The fastest way to find out what I don't know, ask questions. Excuse me, hello? I've got a question. Pregunta, Yumi. Pregunta, por favor, pregunta. I have a question, please. You've got to ask questions. In fact, John has a book. I just saw it on my shelf. Great leaders ask questions. He didn't say great leaders ask great questions. Great leaders ask questions. And next, you have to find out, pass on what you learned to others. As a teacher, instructor, I love doing that. I love saying, this is what I've learned. Let me help you. Make it easier for your fellow man. So why reinvent the road? Why reinvent the wheel? Okay? Why reinvent the wheel? Pass on what you've learned to others. Whenever I go to the conferences, I can't wait to come back and share what I have learned. And again, we have to make our love for learning greater than our fear of failure. I feared failing because I knew that if I failed, not learning that system, the Blackboard system, somebody said, we don't need to know everything, but be willing to learn. Absolutely, Vilma. Glad you're with us, my friend. Back, you're with us. We don't need to learn everything, but we have to be willing to learn. Okay. Develop relationships with other growing people. We were saying, if you keep the poker near the fire, it remains hot. So stay close to the fire of people who are growing. You guys are growing. You're growing, you're glowing, and you're going somewhere. Bam, 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 bam. And then you have to believe in yourself. And sometimes that's the hardest thing. When I dropped out of the class and I said, I can't take this, I was so stressed out. when I dropped out of the class, I said, wait a minute, I can do this. I can do this. I kept saying over and over, I've got the mind of Christ. I've got the mind of Christ. I can do it. I can do all things. And somebody, a ministry called me just out of the blue. I was during lunchtime and they said, Andrea, can we pray for you? And I said, sure. And I told them what it was. So they prayed, oh God, help Andrea to learn this program. As soon as they hung up, the idea dropped in my head. Drop out of class. I'm thinking, gosh, even God must think I'm too dumb to learn. But that wasn't the point. He wanted me to drop out of the class so I could take the class the following week and I could have more time to absorb the material. So you've got to believe in yourself. You must have value in yourself. Just because you might have failed one time, and fail stands for FAIL, first attempt in learning. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. So keep on learning. You must see your value in yourself. Add value to yourself. That's why we're part of Share Every Global Foundation. We're adding value to people. Everybody on this line, probably except Yummy and Von Eric, Josh and myself, we would probably be we'd be ready to go to bed now. But it's early in the morning. We're ready to start the day. You guys have finished the day already. But what are you doing? You're believing, you're adding value to yourself. And what you think about yourself determines investment you make in yourselves. We have other things that we could be doing at 10 o'clock in the morning, where we are now, 10 a.m. where I am. So, but again, I want to be here because I want to add value. Okay, leader shifting. And this is for people who have teams, who work with corporations, but it's also for those in personal development. So again, I've taken bits and pieces of it for the coaches for our personal development. Okay, next, this is really good. I love this. Career to calling. The last leader shift should be the most natural shift a person can make. He said, yeah, but a lot of people miss it. He said, I want to start by asking you a question. How do you currently think about what you do for a living? Number one, you do a job. When you have a job, your main goal is to earn a living and support your family. Guess what, my friends? Your job is not your calling. Your job is not your calling. A job is merely the vehicle with the potential to take you toward your calling. A job is merely the vehicle with the potential to take you toward your calling. That's the way you think about it. My day job, where I get most of the money from, I'm a case manager for the elderly. I help them get the services they need. I help them get incontinence supplies. I help them get food. And do I like it? No, because sometimes they're greedy. My name is Jimmy. What you gonna give me? In America, sometimes we have a tendency to expect everyone to give us things without working for it. So a lot of these people are the elderly, and they just expect the government to pay for everything. Well, that's my job, is to advocate for them. And do I like it? No, not all the time. But I don't focus on that. I focus on the fact that it helps me to make money so I can buy books for my people, my students in the prison. Well, Andrea, yes, whatever book you want, we'll buy the book. But I won't let the college buy books for my inmates. And the reason is because they make me at the end of the semester collect the books. No, when I buy something, so that's why I buy my own books. That's why I spend a lot of my money. I spend more money buying books for my students in the prison than my salary that I make. Because I tell them, I said, when I buy this book, I want you to put your name in it. It's my money, your book. It does not belong to Conner State College. It belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the prison. It belongs to you. I want them to have something of their own. So that's why I keep this job that I have, so I can make money to do what I really want to do, is to teach the people in prison, to teach college students. So how do you currently think about this? How do you currently think about what you do for a living? You do a job. Again, your job is not your calling. 2, you build a career. Now, okay, we're getting a little bit closer. 3, you fulfill your calling. Again, my calling is to teach. My calling is to preach. My calling is to reach. My calling is to transform lives. That's what I've been put on earth to do, is to value people, encourage people, transform lives. So that's why I stay in the job I'm in, so I can have finances to do that. So when it is your calling, you don't have to chase it. When I got involved with Share Everything Global Foundation, trust me, Rambabu will verify this. Did I chase him? No, 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 no. Did Share Everything Global Foundation chase me? Yes, 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 yes. Mercy. I'm glad he did. So when it's your calling, you don't have to chase it. Guess what? You have to be captivated by it. That's why we're here every Sunday. That's why we're here on Saturdays. That's why they're here on Tuesdays. You will be captivated. And we've got to be ready for it when the time comes. Listen to this. Your calling matches who you are. Your calling matches who you are. 2, your calling taps into your passion. I was placed on earth, I was placed on earth to embrace people, to help them, to transform lives. That's why I was placed on earth. So my calling taps into my passion. Your calling taps into your passion. Your calling, listen to this. Your calling is important to you. But guess what, my friends? It's not about you. Me. No, your calling is not about you. It's important to you, but it's not about you. 4, your calling is bigger than you. Maxwell, when he started off just a few people, he's got thousands of people from all over the world. Why? Because his calling was to grow leaders. That's bigger than he is. Share Every Rambabu's calling is bigger than he is. So our calling is bigger than us. Your calling changes your perspectives. I started really studying about personal development when we joined Share Every in America. So our calling changes your perspectives. Why? Because we've got to be global. Even in America, we must be global. Your calling gives you purpose. That's why I was determined. I don't care if there's a tornado. I'm going to be here on a Sunday. I think I got it on my phone. That's what happened. I went to a restaurant, Whole Foods. They were the only ones in that area that had electricity, and got on my phone. So I could get on. Why? Because it gives me purpose to be here. And your calling helps you obtain obstacles. I'm not very good talking one-on-one with people. I would just prefer, it wasn't very easy for me to meet with Josh and Ronnie because there were only 3 of us and we were in Starbucks, and it wasn't very easy. I didn't know them. And I'm a people person, but I'm such an introvert. I'd rather talk to millions of people than talk to 2 people. So it was a big step for me to meet with Josh and Ronnie yesterday, but I did it. Wasn't I there, Josh? And you were there. And so we had a good time. So that helps me overcome obstacles. And last, your calling brings what? Fulfillment. If you're not being fulfilled in your job, look for something else. So, my friends, you may say, well, Andrea, what's my calling? Have you already discovered it? Or do you need help in finding? If I help you finding what your calling is, I can help you. Say, me, Andrea. Number 1, what do I sing about? What fills my heart? I love it when I see people who are encouraged because of something I've said. There's a lady on Facebook. I didn't know who she was, but she asked me to be her friend. I said, okay. She goes, I was in prison. You were my instructor in prison, and you kept building me up and you kept encouraging me. I love you. So now we're friends on Facebook. I don't remember her. I don't remember her name. I saw her picture. I still don't remember her. Why? That makes me that fills my heart. I was able to change her life and transform her life. In other words, next, what do I cry about? What breaks my heart? It breaks my heart when I see people not reaching their potential. It breaks my heart when I see people in prison. I tell them, I said, when you write a paper to me, you do not put your prison number on there, or I will mark it. I will give you an F. I said, you are not a prisoner in my class. You are a Connor State College student. You are my student. You're not an inmate. That breaks my heart when I don't see people reach their potential. That's why I love it so much when they have a Smarties class for children, for the teens and the preteens, teaching them that they can be whatever that they want to be. So what breaks your heart? It breaks my heart to see the way our veterans are treated in America. It breaks my heart to see how we look down our nose upon people who are in poverty. Who do we think that we are? So what do I cry about? Those things like that make me cry. And then what do I dream about? What lifts my heart? When I see people go from point A to point B, when I see people bearing fruit. I think this is a strawberry. This strawberry looks like a strawberry. Okay. In Mexico, we call it yo-yo syndrome. In Spanish, me is yo, when we use a lot. What do we mean by yo-yo syndrome? I'm going to have to ask what yo-yo syndrome is. Okay. Yo-yo syndrome. What's
And
yo-yo syndrome?
okay,
Huh?
me in Spanish is yo. You say it
Yeah.
all the time. We're thinking me. It's nothing is for me. And
Okay.
In Spanish exists yo-yo syndrome. It's the same, like a syndrome me. You know,
I love
you catch
that.
me? You catch me? Okay, this is my
I catch you,
explanation.
sister.
Yeah,
Thank you, amiga. Thank you, amiga. Mi amiga
de
es bonita.
nada,
Mia
de
is
nada.
inteligente. Oh my gosh. Mini yo-yo. Okay,
Yeah,
yo-yo. Oh, in America, I don't know whether you have yo-yos in America, word in India, but a yo-yo goes
yeah,
up and down, but it doesn't go
yeah.
anyplace. So when you just focus on me, or yo, you're not going anywhere. And you look rather silly because you're just going up and down, and you're not helping anyone. So thank you. Good point. What do I dream about? What lifts my heart? So if you can ask yourself these things, what do I sing about? What fills my heart? What do I cry about? What breaks my heart? Mi corazón. What do I dream about? What lifts my heart? My friends, you have just reached. You will know what your calling is, and you are in the middle. You're in the midst. You're in the processing of what? Leader shifting. Shift to the left, shift to the right. But whatever you do, just shift. Thank you. I'll turn it over.
Thank you so much, Andrea. It was a beautiful presentation. I said in the post, and I confirm it at this moment, a super interesting and important topic without a doubt. But now we have a magnificent reviewer. This is Von Eric Tandok from Canada. It's an honor for us to have you once again on this platform. Go ahead.
Coach Yuri, thank you very much. Coach Andrea, first, I would like to say thank you for your presentation today. I love how you narrate everything based on your reading, based from your own perspective, and based on your wisdom. I find your presentation with lots of nuggets of wisdom. Number two, I find it interactive. Number three, I like the storytelling. And number four, I like one simple visual aid. Okay, nuggets of wisdom. You shared about Babe Ruth quote, and you mentioned, home run yesterday is not a win today. Wow. Ouch. So many people think of the past, their past achievement, and then they think, oh, when I was young, I'm like this. Have you encountered those people? When I was in college, I'm the most handsome in the university, or probably the Miss University. Can you relate with that? I like that. Whatever achievement you have or you had yesterday, that is not the same today. So thank you for sharing with that nuggets of wisdom. Number two, I mentioned interactive is because you gave Coach Yami or Coach Yuri opportunity to explain what is the yo-yo syndrome, and we learn about that. So I like that. I like in the presentation is not only one persona doing the presentation, but rather asking something from the audience. Number three, I love that simple visual aid. And I have a feedback about that visual aid or about visual aid later. So I love that stop sign. See, when there are many people, they learn through audio. There are some people, they learn through visuals. So I love that. So you combine the audio and visual. I love your concept of job about your calling. And I can relate to that because this year I have my second job, which is acting. I think this is my calling because I'm guilty here, okay? My current job is not about calling, but rather just to support my family, myself, and other things. And let's face it, right? Let's face it. We are into job because of money. Very few people think of job as more of a passion rather than earning money. So thank you very much for that. We learned today that leadership is more of the ability and willingness to make leadership, not the shift, change to positive. So you are enhancing organizational and personal growth because this is how we see things, how we learn new things, and how we do things. Grow upward to grow inward. But what I love when you said here, grows inside fuels growth outside. Is that correct? I love the story you shared about Michael Jordan. Yes, we know Michael Jordan, probably the best NBA or the best basketball player in the world. But when he shifted to baseball, he's not that great. So focus on that particular aspect. So if you're really good in inspiring people, focus on that one. If I'm going to summarize what I've learned from you in this taken from the heart, it's too much to absorb and listening to you at the same time in writing. And I'm going to speak from the heart. If I'm going to summarize what is leadership, leadership is about more of helping you to become a great leader, to identify the needs and help improve not only yourself, not only your mindset, but rather showing what to do to gain that organizational vision or organizational goal. To put it simply, leadership is how you change yourself, how you teach yourself, how you learn, and in that return, you are spreading that to a bigger group. Let's say in your workplace, do your job, learn the job, have that calling, and then you're spreading positivity for the growth of the whole organization. The first thing I do every Sunday is going to share every. So this is my breakfast. Listening from other speakers like you, listening from the insight of other members and guests. Lots of wisdom. Thank you very much for the learning. I'll turn over the floor to Coach Yuri.
Thank you very much, Eric. Super accurate your contribution from my point of view. For me, your specialty is feedback and receive feedback too, obviously. And well, you have many specialties, but giving feedback is one of them, Eric.